What's up, guys, and welcome to the live podcast. And today we have Pierre Jülich, co-founder of MangoStudio AI, the guy who builds powerful AI automations and content systems for six-figure and seven-figure brands. We are going to deep into how AI is actually making businesses faster, smarter, and way more prof- profitable in 2026. Pierre, thanks for joining us, brother. Let's dive straight in.
Pleasure to be here.
Pierre, you went from regular life to co-founding MangoStudio AI. What was the exact moment you realized AI automation? We are going to completely change how brands operate.
Well, there was this project that I had a couple months ago. It was my first big automation project that I built out. It's basically a system where you connect a TikTok account or multiple TikTok accounts to promote a brand or a product or whatever. And I built out system that runs on social media where every single day 80 posts are being uploaded for that product. And I was able to scale 3 accounts to over 10,000 followers within the first month of doing that. And then I realized that I probably should be doing this more and try around more with it. So I published a product, started selling it, started doing advertisement. And from that point on, I just built more and more stuff, sold it to more and more people. And it's been great. It's been great ever since.
Nice. So, explain in simple terms what exactly is MangoStudio AI and what kind of AI automation and connect systems do you build for six-figure brands?
So what exactly MangoStudio is it's an AI automation and AI creative studio, and we work with mostly businesses that need things automated in their office, like on their computer. We don't work with robotics or construction vehicles, but with the tasks that you need to do in the office every day, like sending documents, correcting reports, creating reports, managing employees, and so on and so on. It's always a bit different between the brands that we work with because some people spend a lot of time on managing customers, some people spend a lot of time of organizing files or having a lot of this boring work that you would have to do every day in your office. We basically look at what the employees are doing and find a way to replace it with one or multiple automations so that these employees can then focus on things that are more important to actually growing the business instead of doing the grunt work in the office that nobody's really interested for and nobody really signed up for when they started their company. And yeah, that's mainly what we do for 6 to 7 figure businesses. But yeah, any more specific question?
Yes, I have. I have for real results for brands. What kind of results are you clients actually seeing? Give us the juiciest before and after examples of brands that scares thanks to your AI systems.
We had one crazy example. There was one of our clients, and it was basically a library. And what they were doing is they took books that were not commercially available anymore, scanned the whole thing, and they took it for a lot of different languages, but their library was in Germany. So all the books were in German. And then after they scanned all of these books that were not available anymore, they had to translate them, correct them, put them in a format that they were actually able to upload them on a website or to ship them out to be printed. And each book, they would spend around 10 to 15 hours per book to translate the full thing, correct the full thing, and making it ready to be published. But we reduced that whole process of them translating these books manually, and they would do round about 10 to 20 books every single day. And we automated the whole translation process. So they just had to drop in the scanned book, and the automation would take it, translate it into German, put it in the right format, and upload it to the database directly so that it could be checked by the guy that was running the team, and then just from a final human touch be uploaded to the database. And the whole automated process, after we automated it, took around 1 to 2 hours per book. So we reduced them from initially having humans working 10 to 15 hours for one single book to having a machine running for 1 to 2 hours without a human involved. And yeah, remove their cost for employees, remove their time spent on the book, so that we were able to save them hundreds of hours basically every single day for book translation, and make them a lot more money by paying for a fee for the automation instead of hiring employees that would get minimum wage, like 15 euros per hour, and then they would get paid, let's say 200 to 250 euros per book. And that's of course a lot of money. So we reduced that to around 30 bucks per book and 1 to 2 hours of automated work, saving them around 70,000 hours every single year and 1.2 million in employee cost. That was the craziest story we had so far. These numbers are, of course, assuming that they were continuing to translate in that volume, but that's essentially what this automation was made to do.
Nice. That is insane. That is wow. So walk us through a typical project. How do you turn six-figure brand content and operations into the fully automated AI-powered machine?
Well, what we usually do is whenever we work with someone, we hop on a call with one of their team managers or the business owner directly, depending on the size of the business. And then we would have them walk us through how their employees are currently solving a specific workflow, how their employees are currently working in specific tasks or work that they have to do every single day, the same work. We will look exactly how they do it and build out a pre-version of an automation to replace that process. And that process, that automation, is then going to run for 1 month next to the employee doing the automation. And then we just fix bugs for 1 month straight. And after that month is over, the automation will be ready to be pushed out to the company directly to then fully replace the work of the employee so they can coordinate that employee to work on other tasks. And as soon as that is done, we start charging a monthly fee for the maintenance of that automation, and the project is basically finished. Of course, regardless what you build, you will always find bugs, like whatever software you get, you will always have problems. And with that maintenance, we will then always solve these problems 24 hours every single day around the clock. And yeah, that's how a typical project would look when someone comes and starts working with us.
That is game changing. So, what is the single biggest AI automation or content system you build that give your clients the easiest ROI?
We haven't built content systems directly for clients. That's something we have been testing out, like the auto poster I talked with you about. I think the auto poster is the craziest thing that posts carousels and generated within 2 weeks of it running, I think across 12 accounts, 7 million views, and 15,000 new followers across all of the accounts. So that was the craziest content creation automation system that we built out with the most astonishing result. And now we start shipping that out as a beta feature to the companies that we work with in the past.
Wow, that's so G. What AI tools and technologies are you using behind the scenes at MangoStudio AI right now? What is your personal stack?
I use mainly two tools only. That's very simple. It's Claude Code, and a normal Claude, and N8N for automations. For an AI automations and marketing agency, you maybe need one more system, but I'm in charge of building the automation. So I only use the N8N and Claude to build out everything and to fix the bugs, build dashboards. It's extremely simple. It's the best option you can have. When you want to make a website, you should use Codex, ChatGPT version, because it's better at understanding design. But for most things, Claude. Of course, I'm on the max version X, because if you use the normal version, you will not have any results. But when you start to build out an agency, AI agency, you need to use Claude.
That is very useful. Like if you are building something. So, next one. What is the hardest part most brands get wrong when trying to implement AI automations?
A lot of people, a lot of business owners think that their workflow, their process is somehow unique, somehow too complicated to be handed over to an AI automation. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make when you run a business, is to think that you are too special to be fixed, because truly we have had the most weird specialized scenarios where we had to find completely new ways to build them, but nothing is impossible if you just continue to try building out this stuff. So I think people need to stop, business owners need to stop thinking that their situation is somehow too complicated, because truly when we work with someone, there was no workflow, there was no automation that we couldn't build with AI for them to save them a shit ton of time and a lot of money for their business.
Is MangoStudio AI only for six-figure brands, or can smaller businesses also benefit? What is the lowest barrier to enter right now?
It's a MangoStudio, by the way, like the mango word directly. No, seven figures is good to have when you start working with AI automations, because that means you have a lot of processes in your business where we could actually build something around them to save you a lot of money and time. And before you at six figures, you still have things that we can fix and automate for you, but you are much less likely to be a person that has a lot of employees and has a lot of things that would even require automation. So we work with 6 or 7 figure brands because our main job is to save them time with work that currently their employees are doing in the office. And before 6 figures, you don't have that much office work most of the time, and you would not benefit from working with us because there's simply no need for you yet, unless you, of course, run your business very badly, which I wouldn't hope. But yeah, before 6 figures, there's for most companies just no use to implement AI because they don't have the amount of work, of office work, that's that would make an actual difference for them if we were to work with them directly.
That is understandable. So, where do you see AI automation heading in the next 12 or 24 months for small to medium brands? What should entrepreneurs be preparing for right now?
Right now, when you use AI in your work, you use tools like Claude, ChatGPT, N8N, and so on. It's still something new. There's still not that many people using them, and still a thing that you can sell. But in 6 to 12 months, there will be a lot new things that have came out around AI automation, AI features, and they will be lot a lot more accessible to more business owners, to more people. So I think where I would see AI automation and AI going in the next 6 to 12 months, it's going to become much more normalized, and there's going to be a lot less work behind the scenes that you would need to do when you want to set up an AI automation. For example, Claude, when you use the Pro version or the Max version, I don't know exactly which one it is, has a lot of skills already that have basically pre-built automations for you in their system that you can use for your business directly, which are very basic, but for a lot of people, like below six-figure brand, it's already very useful to have them in their system. And I think it's going to become much more accessible to a lot of people, and it's going to become much easier to set these things up for a lot of people, even if you're not an expert and build out these things for 3 or 4 years for your whole life. So everything is going to become super accessible.
And what happen next 24 months?
Next 24 months, same thing. Same thing. It's going to become more and more open. More and more people are going to use it. It's not going to be something special. Using Claude is like writing an email. No one is gonna see AI as a trend anymore. It's just going to be a normal feature of your life, regardless what you do, regardless what you work, even if you're an employee, even if you have a company, you will always be using AI regardless of what you do, regardless what you sell, regardless what your job is. You will be using AI because it gets stuff done faster and better than it gets done by humans at the moment.
Give me a moment. I need new questions. You are fast. You are not that like guys in 30s.
German, we don't talk that much.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So, how do you measure the success of the AI automation projects? What KPIs do you actually track?
The success. How do you know when an AI automation was successful? I think you know it was successful when you installed it, when you had one job, one task that has been done for the past months, for the past years by an employee or multiple employees, and you started installing an AI automation for it. And then you see the automation running, you see the employee working instead of doing the task 100%, only doing 10% of what he used to do in the task. And when you start to see that, first of all, you're saving hours, not like 3 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, but hundreds of hours every single day with that automation. And when you see that you save thousands of euros, of dollars with using that automation instead of having an employee run it, when you see that the work is being done even when other employees are in holiday, even when the company is not open at the moment. For example, something that's becoming more heavily used right now is automated customer support. So when you start seeing that all the customers that message you from a different country, maybe at 3 a.m. in the morning, that they get responses immediately and automatically. I think big brands, I don't want to say any names, are already implementing that. It looks extremely human, but you can kind of guess that it's AI behind it. So I think the moment you see that you start saving hundreds of hours every single day and you save thousands of euros of dollars in employees cost every single month just by spending a bit of money on a maintenance fee, that's kind of the moment as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, where you see that it's actually becoming useful. But you will see these results after having that automation installed for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months, after it was optimized, perfectionized, and fully set up by the agency behind it.
How do you structure pricing for your AI automation? What kind of ROI can a typical client accept?
So again, it depends heavily on what the client needs. So I would look at what they're currently doing, because when you do an automation, you never create a task in a business that has never been done before, but then you offer automation for it. But you take a task that existed, you take a task that was done by a human, and then you rebuild the automation for it. And the pricing is always set on, first of all, how much time the owner of the business is saving with you implementing that automation, or how much money. And in the best cases, it's of course both. So before, let's say you run an AI agency, before you do any pricing, you always need to do a deep analysis on how much money this employer, this owner, this business is currently spending on performing this task, and how long it takes them to perform that task. And then you have to look at how much faster can you get it done? How much cheaper can you get it done? How much AI tokens are you spending in that automation. And based on all of that information, you can start charging either 3,000 per month for a retainer and 10,000 for setting up the automation, or you charge 50,000. If you see they're saving millions, then of course it makes sense to charge more. But again, most AI agencies are pretty new right now because it's becoming more of a trend in the recent years. And you will always also have to look at what work did you do in reality in the past? Who did you work with that you can show to a new client? In the beginning, you will be working with smaller businesses. And then, of course, you cannot charge 20 grand for an automation to a business that is making 100 grand per month. That's just not realistic. So you have to see at how much money they're spending, how much money you can save them, how much more money they will make with you implementing that automation. And based on that, you can maybe charge 40% less of what they're currently spending on it. So you're making them 40% more in money directly in that automation. But it always depends. You always have to do your research. You always have to do what exactly that guy is doing, how he's doing it, how much money he's spending, how much money he could be saving potentially. And then you can set your price around that.
There are a lot of AI tools out there right now. What makes MangoStudio AI different from all the other automations companies?
Well, there has been so far not a single process that we were not able to automate. That's one thing for sure. And a lot of agencies are specialized on one specific thing. They do one specific automation that they sell over and over and over again to the same type of client. But that's not what we do. We work with any business, be it real estate, be it construction, be it a calling company, be it a TV, whatever. We work with them and we find money that they can save. We find time that they can save and we make them an offer around that. So we are not specialized on one specific thing. We are not selling one same automation over and over again, which is what most so-called agencies are doing. But we find the problem and we build a custom solution around it and we do it fast. So one project can take 4 to 6 months for what other people to make it custom would take around 2 to 3 months alone to finish it.
What is next for MangoStudio AI? What big vision do you have for the company in the next 1 or 2 years?
What vision do I have for MangoStudio in the next 2 years? So the biggest thing we are working on right now, because AI is sellable right now because it's not as accessible. In 2 to 3 years, you're not gonna be able to sell AI automation, to sell AI tools to businesses anymore because everyone will know how to set it up with 2, 3 messages inside of a Claude conversation. So no one will want to buy AI automation anymore, which is why right now we focus on, first of all, of course, selling the automation, and second of all, teaching people, because we work on a community right now inside of my personal brand. You saw my Instagram maybe, where we start teaching business owners and AI agency builders how to build the workflows, how to build the systems, how to approach the clients, how to do all the things that we do in MangoStudio right now. And the biggest goal is just to build, to work with as many clients as we can in the next 2 years, and then to become the biggest in the AI brand, so that when it gets to the point where everyone knows how to make basic automations, how to implement it in businesses, it will not be a question anymore of finding someone who can do it, but finding the best who can do it. And because we have been doing this for the past 2 years already, because we are already one of the best inside the industry, we will be in the next 2 to 3 years on top of everyone. And we will have the status to work with bigger businesses that we can do potentially not only automations for, but also work in more specialized AI cases. And they would need a custom system for them directly. So we will build our agency around the hype right now and then see where we are, where we have to shift in the next 2 to 3 years after it's over and after everyone knows how to do it.
So,
That's cool.
so right, if someone watching is running a business or want to start one, what is the smartest first step they should take with AI right now?
When someone wants to start a business right now, what do they have to look at in AI? Look, most businesses right now that are currently being created, developed, published are in a service, online service niche, be it doing sales, be it doing advertisement via emails, writing blog posts, whatsoever. But there's too many of them already. Every single day, someone tries to create a new service business out of nothing and thinks they're going to be successful between all the hundreds of thousands that are being created every single month. So what people should do right now with AI when they want to start a business is to look at something that is more work, like working with plumbers, working as a carpenter. And they need to find a way to implement AI to bring to make turn that business into one of the biggest in that niche, because all of these businesses right now are being owned, are being led, were founded by people who did that 40, 50 years ago, and they don't know about AI. They don't know about online marketing. So everyone that wants to start a business right now, every Gen Z, needs to start thinking on how to replace those people that have been doing it for 40, 50 years with the power of AI. And the power of AI that they can use in that would be to do all the work that they do online, build out the best website with AI, build out the best customer support with AI, build out the best lead generator with AI, to just pump the market with themselves, with their face, with their marketing, with their brand name, to just put them out there, put them on the spot, because there's a huge vacuum. There's a huge lack of these businesses, construction, carpeting, washing, cars, whatever. They're not being represented online. You maybe see two of them online. You maybe know two of them online, but there's not as huge, there's not this amount that you see of online service-based businesses. So people should start looking into these businesses and finding ways to integrate AI directly into them to push that business to the maximum level possible, because that way it will allow them to make the amounts, because these people are not making little amounts of money. They're making a lot of money, even though it's hard. It's more hard than to type on a keyboard and to work from home every single day, but they are making a lot of money. And they could be making a shit ton more money when they just replace as much work as possible that they do in that business with AI.
And someone who is running business, what they should take with AI right now?
Someone who's running business that is not yet using AI in their
Yes.
business, what they should do. I mean, first of all, you need to see how are you doing your marketing? What happens in your office every day? What are the tasks that you need to be doing every single day? And what are the tasks that make you the most money? And then you need to find out which ones of these are happening on the computer only. Which ones of these are you able to build an automation around? Which ones of these can you hand over to an AI? So you need to see whatever you're doing in the office, whatever you're doing with replying to the same customer questions every single day, replying to the same lead requests every single day, you need to find a way to remove your employees from all that annoying office work that nobody wants to do anyway, and to start focusing more on doing the work inside the fields of your company that actually bring you money, that actually get you clients, that actually push your business and make you able to grow it. So try to replace as much work, as much tasks, as much load of you can in your business with AI. A lot of young people, a lot of Gen Z are extremely lazy when it comes to working, but they're not lazy like they don't do work, but they are lazy. They find solutions to not do the work. So they should find someone who who can think with AI, who can think with social media, who can find solutions to do what they are doing with AI, or they just book a free consultation audit with MangoStudio, mangostudio.ai/audit. Very simple. And they find out what they can do in their business to automate what they are doing currently with hand so that they can save a lot of money on employees and that they can save a lot of money with just them removing themselves from the work that they shouldn't be doing anyway, the work that they don't like to be doing anyway.
Last question. If you could give every person watching just one piece of advice about AI automations and building real businesses in 2026, what would it be?
What would I say to everyone watching this that wants to build with AI, that wants to make a real business, that wants to run his real business in 2026? Give me a second. Do less office work. You need to speak with more people directly. You cannot be focusing on doing the work that none of your clients see. You need to put yourself out there. You need to use social media as much as you can. You need to post as much as you can. For example, I post 280 videos every single week across all my social media platforms.
Wow.
Most of them are not getting 1,000 views. Most of them are not getting 100 views, but some of them are then blowing up, getting 1,000 views, getting 10,000 views, getting 100,000 views. So you need to post more. You need to replace every single thing that you do in the office, that you do every single day, that doesn't require any new input, any new learning for your employees. You need to replace all of that with AI and just start focusing on the things that make you actual money and stop working on everything else that doesn't bring you money, because truly the only thing that keeps the business running is money, leads, sales, all of that. And you cannot make more of that without being able to put the time in it. So you need to replace yourself from all the work that is not bringing you more clients, and everything that you're doing that is with clients, that is handling clients, talking to people, don't replace it with AI. Do it yourself, because nobody wants to talk to AI. Nobody wants to talk to a chatbot that wants to buy from a big company. So replace whatever you can with AI, post more, do more, and focus on the work that brings you actual money. That's the only thing that I can tell you. Stop doing the work in the office that is boring, that you do every single day and that you hate doing every single day.
Peer, thank you so much for going so deep on MangoStudio AI and the real power of AI automations. Guys, if this episode opened your eyes, smash the like button right now, comment I am in or MangoStudio AI below on notification so you don't turn on notification so you don't miss the next one. Peer, one last time. I thank you so much and stay sharp. See you on the next episode.
Yes. Thank you so much, man.